Welcome back. You are stunning. You've made the right choice to wake up on the right side of lockdown. It is Expresso Morning Show live on SABC3. Now, the lockdown is officially in effect. We're halfway through. But yes, while the national lockdown is helping us to slow down the spread of COVID-19 across the country, and it is, many of us are housebound and spending way more time than usual on our digital devices. I'm talking about our cell phones, our tablets, our laptops. And this is exactly why NEDBANK are urging all of us to practice good digital hygiene during this time by being extra mindful of cyber criminals, because they're all over the place looking and ready to pounce. And via video call, we're joined by Stelios Fakis, NEDBANK's retail and business banking digital executive. Stelios, good morning. It's so good to have you here. First of all, we're all home, or most of us. We were taking extra precaution around hygiene, washing our hands. But NEDBANK are urging us to be cautious online as well, on the digital space. Why? Is there something you know that we don't, Stelios?
Good morning, Tabiso, and to the viewers. Yes, this is an unprecedented time for us all. And while we often send out lots of communications, this is not new to us. We're definitely ramping up on our communications to clients. In the face of a physical lockdown, naturally, people are becoming more digital. In fact, in our space, with the ease that you can download our Money app, which we are encouraging clients to do, to have absolute control of their finances while we're in lockdown, we're communicating and educating our clients continuously, because we have new clients joining us all the time and becoming digital. So a couple of the things that have prompted us to communicate more is, obviously with the lockdown, there's less face-to-face interaction. And fraudsters are trying to impersonate clients, whether it's on the phone, through SMSs, emails. So we're consciously aware of that, and we are educating our clients how to deal with that. We have also become very conscious, and it's natural that in this time, social media is blowing up. So what are the do's and don'ts in that space? And we also know that fraudsters prey on fear and uncertainty. So we're coaching our clients and keeping them well armed to protect themselves while still enjoying the benefits of all the digital banking features.
Stelios, one thing a lot of people will notice is that cyber criminals are obsessed with sending emails. They love to send us emails. How can we easily identify if a website or an email that's being sent to us while we sit at home during lockdown is not legitimate?
So maybe let's start with the website first. I think the first and primary thing that we encourage all our clients to do is don't click on links that are sent to you in an email. What you can do is, if you hover over a hyperlink, it will show you what that URL or the website address is. And you'll find often when it's a fraudulent site that what you're actually looking at and what the clients have told is happening in that email, you'll see that it's got nothing to do with that site. So hover on, check that you're on the right site. If you're on a phone, you can long press on the hyperlink, and you'll be able to see what the real address is. I think when it comes to email, my only guide to that would be, a bank or a credible institution will never send you an email and ask you to click out, and very specifically never ask you to enter any kind of credentials, whether it's an ID number, account number, a card number, a PIN number. You will never be asked to do that by a bank through an email. So be very vigilant on that. It's very possible for fraudsters to fake an email and make it look real, that it's coming from someone else. If you're in doubt, rather find your own contact details off a website and contact that company or that person directly and ask them, did you send me this? Kind of things that these fake emails will do is say, we've recently changed our account number. As soon as you see something like that, be very, very vigilant. In fact, I'd encourage you to delete it immediately.
Absolutely. I mean, the thing is, they've gotten quite sophisticated, and these emails are getting more and more real and looking more real as they go on. But what about calls and SMSs? Online or digital criminals operating in the crime space, do they operate in phone calls and SMSs too? What can we look out for there?
Absolutely. When it comes from an email, we refer to refer to it as phishing. In the voice space, we refer to it as vishing with a V.
Vishing.
And vishing, correct. And what you'll find is these fraudsters are incredibly ruthless. They prey on emotion and they create fear. And the kind of sort of modus operandi is they will contact you pretending to be the bank or whatever other institution you're dealing with, and they will create some sort of fear, i.e., for example, they will say, we've picked up fraud on your account, so they'll pretend that they've picked it up. We've got to move your money out for you. We'll show you how to do it. And they'll give us your credentials, give us your PIN. We will save you. And they try and become the heroes of your story. But in reality, they're not your heroes. They're trying to dupe you out of your funds. With SMSs, it's the same thing. They force you onto links. They encourage you to click this, do that. But just ignore them. Absolutely delete them. A bank or a credible institution will never, ever ask you for those credentials.
And they know that a lot of people are quite fearful during this time with the coronavirus and the lockdown, so they will be crafting messages out there that get you more fearful, that get you thinking that something's going to be happening with your money during this time. Your money needs to be moved out. If you get an SMS or a phone call or an email, you've got to pay attention and check twice. Now, a lot of companies, Stelios, and banks certainly have been drafting press releases and sending out mails to their clients to inform them of new procedures during the lockdown. How do we know then for sure that communication is coming from our banks? And how do we know if it's not coming from our banks? If we can just reiterate those points.
Yeah, so I think it comes back to the same points. I think email is a very important form of communication. So I'm not saying ignore all emails. What I would say, though, is if at any point in an email you see it encouraging you to leave by clicking on something or asking you for credentials, it's likely that email is fraudulent. So I think that would be my one guide. I wouldn't want to give 50 tips. If there's one thing to remember, I think that's the key one. And what I would urge you to do is, as a client or as a person who's received this email, validate it. Rather go onto the company's website, look up their contact numbers, phone them directly. Don't phone from the phone number that has come on the email, because that would also be fraudulent. So rather go onto the website, check for the number, phone, or look for the information online, and you will be fine.
Stelios, thank you so much for your time this morning. You've been so insightful, and hopefully this has just enlightened a whole lot of South African viewers out there at home during this time. Appreciate your time. Thank you, Stelios from NEDBANK. Now, whilst it's okay to spend that extra hour or so on your phone or your computer during the lockdown period, please, everyone, be mindful of the websites that you trust for critical information. Be extra vigilant of the sensitive information that you share, whether you're being asked via a link or even on any website, especially information such as your password and your bank pins. You will never be asked for these by your bank.